Okay, well, good day, viewers, and welcome to another great episode of In the Mix. You guys know if it's Friday, we are talking about football, we are talking about what's going on in the football industry. But I am joined by none other than the men. They say he's from Ivory Coast. I don't know how true that story is, but the man from Ivory Coast, that's Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, is my co-presenter for today. It's probably his first time on the show. Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join us on the show today. We have been waiting for you to be on the show, and thank you for coming through.
Well, thank you so much, Brian. I would have greeted the viewers in French because I picked up a few words from there, but obviously this is Namibia and it is great to be on the show.
Okay, I'm sure Mr. Issa Kamata also speaks a bit of French. We will see during the course of the show, but yeah, we are joined by Namibian acting, not act, I almost said acting president, but yeah, acting Secretary General.
Okay.
Acting Secretary General of Netball Namibia, that's Mr. Issa Kamata. Mr. Issa Kamata, thank you for joining us and taking time out of your schedule to be with us on the show today.
Thank you. It's my first time here. I hope it's not the last. It's great to be here, and I hope it's going to be a marvelous show.
Okay, well, basically, let me just run you through it. What happens on the show is we eat. We eat.
I see that.
We make sure we eat. But apart from eating, we speak more about football and we dive into football discussions. We'll be doing that very, very shortly. But let's first take bites of our Jesse. Jesse, can you please maybe let us know what we have on our menu today? As the wonderful Michelle always graces us with good food to eat. What do you think we're having today? She did tell us the name. I just want to put you on the spot and find out what this is.
Brian, putting me on the spot here, you have it totally spot on. All I know it is the cross something. That's great. So the rest you can tell me because I've never seen it in my life. You know, it's like coming from somewhere and just landing and you're seeing something new. So Brian, I would really appreciate if you tell me it is a cross what.
Okay, well, Jesse, for your information, we are having some cross buns. As I can see, we have some cheese on, we have some raisins here. So this is not probably just for vibes, but we have a lemon slice, orange slice there. So if you guys can, if you don't mind taking a bite of your cross buns before we come right back, that would be very great. So guys, do stay tuned. We'll be back right shortly.
Champions League, we've got the favourites, and if they're on song, well, they'll give us a bit of everything to enjoy. Well, here we go, the first of taste, and the break is on here. It's a red card. Vinicius Junior! Oh my goodness! There was space well. Lewandowski! Oh, magnificent! That is a stunner! Haaland! What a finish! Coming onto it now to shoot! Champions of Europe, finally!
The 2023-24 UEFA Champions League. Be moved with every game live on SuperSport. Upgrade to Compact Plus.
We are back here. It is gone but not forgotten, and that is the late President Hage Geingob. Mr. Hamata, I know you have been around. You have been in the industry for so long, and I'm sure you have encountered moments and with the late president, who was laid to rest this past weekend. So could you just tell us what he meant for you in terms of sports and all?
Yes, thanks, Jesse. Maybe not for me, but for me as part of this country and the football followers in this country, he meant a great deal. He was the patron of the Football Association, and that counts for a lot. You see, your presence alone as a patron and as a president, first as a prime minister, of course, the first position he occupied when he came back to Namibia after independence, he was then appointed as patron. I think those who appointed him knew that he was, first of all, he was a soccer player, and then he was a football lover. And you attach a big name to something if you really want to make it work. And through his involvement, his association, and later on with the Dr. Hage Geingob Cup, it drew a lot of people, it attracted a lot of interest, it attracted a lot of corporate interest to football. And through that, you see the value of football. And those of us in football say the value of football is not just on the pitch. It's about the opportunities they create for young people of Namibia. It's about the opportunities it creates for the economy of this country. If you have more and more people going out of this country through football, they bring back money, which is plowed back to the families, into the economy and so on. So in a nutshell, that is the value that the president created by his involvement and his attachment to football. He made everybody realize that through this football, you are able to create friendships, able to create peace, you are able to create happiness in society. As Ricardo Manetti always says, football determines the mood of society. When the team loses national team, we all go sleep very early. But when it wins, we are there at the stadium for long. So, and then the president was really that, he epitomized that. He's happy, he's speaking to everybody, he's dancing. So, and then everybody else who did not realize the power of football now sees, oh, when the president is somewhere, then this must be very important. And that's now we are able to get a number of things right in football. We are able to get our players out across the border. We are able to get sponsorships for our teams. This year, amongst many other years, was the year there was a big wave of supporters coming back to football. And then you could have seen at the Hage Cup, the last one, when he was alive, the stadium was filled because people now realize there's power behind football because of him partly.
Okay. Stage, one of the things that you would definitely want to hear is about the legacy. How do we make sure as a country that this legacy continues and his name or whatever he believed in terms of sports continues?
Look, he has left behind the Hage Cup, the Dr. Hage Cup. I think that must continue. Its format is maybe something for the organizers to worry about, but I think the name must continue forever. It must go into eternity. You can have netball, cricket, rugby, golf, as long as it is the Dr. Hage Cup. And I think through that we are honoring his legacy. Also, I remember he had made a speech or a statement about him wanting to start a Hage Cup Soccer Academy. And that has never materialized, maybe because of time constraints and so on, but I think now in his memory, maybe from an FA point of view or from whoever, we need to get that going. And it's a national academy. That must take players from as far as Tumkwe, Aminuis, maybe Luderitz, where I come from, Rietfontein, not just Windhoek-based people. It should really be, the man spoke about the Namibian house with a room for everybody. This is the opportunity for us to create that platform where everybody gets an opportunity to experience what it means, what he wanted us to get into in terms of the Namibian house. Through football, I think we can achieve that, and more so if we call it the Hage Cup Soccer Academy, or maybe Sports Academy with various sports codes. But that name of his, I think it must stay on.
Very important. I think that's very well said. Jesse, that's a very, very good question, but like I think Mr. Amata said, the importance to make sure that his legacy continues is to make sure that cup competitions continue. Like we just had the recent announcement of the Nedbank Namibian Newspaper Cup. That's continuing. That's the 22nd edition. So it's been happening for 22 years. This just showing that consistency should be there, because we'll speak about it later in detail. But if you look at the likes of Dion Hotto, those are players that are now getting old. If you look at superstar Shalulile, those guys, if you look at the next AFCON, they probably won't be a part of the squad, or if they are, they won't have that much of an effect to the team. So we need to start looking into recruiting and bringing in new players. And all of that happens through starting grassroots level and stuff like that. But before we do continue with this football discussion, we first need to find out who's in the kitchen today. I do have a hint for you. Just know that someone is getting knocked out today. If you guys don't catch my hands now, then I don't know what you guys want me to say. But yeah, Anushka is on standby as we are getting ready for the food section. So do stay tuned.
We've always had the bravery to stand up for what is Namibian. From protecting our homes to fighting injustices, we still celebrate what it means to us and raise a glass to those who show their bravery. No matter how they take on the world, with all this potential in the land of the brave, what will you do to make this Namibia your Namibia?
I don't know who Brian is saying is getting knocked out, because it's definitely not me, because Jeremiah adores me, guys. What's not to adore? So I'm joined by boxer, like Brian already said, Jeremiah. Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
No, I'm okay.
Right?
Okay, yes.
Now listen, I had a very late night last night, you know. So I'm quite hungry. So what do you have on the braai for us?
Yeah, today we have something nice here in the kitchen. I'm the chef, as you can see, and we have chicken wings that I'm preparing. Yes.
Well, listen, there's two things that I like, Jeremiah. That's societies
Yeah.
and chicken wings.
Yes.
So, like Brian can't do chicken wings, and I don't know what Jesse is capable of, but you won't disappoint with the chicken wings, right?
I won't disappoint. I make sure you're gonna enjoy it.
Really?
Yes.
So now, like behind camera, we were talking. I asked you like who you box for and when's your next boxing gig, because I like sport, but I haven't gotten that into boxing yet. So maybe you can enlighten me more.
Yeah, I am a professional boxer. Jeremiah Nakathira, that's the name, Loki, and I've made, a lot when it comes to boxing in the country. So I'm still active, and I'm looking forward to my next fight this year, which will be perhaps April, May.
Okay.
Yeah, as we speak, the training is in the process, and I'm just waiting for the announcement. My promoter is busy searching for the right fight for me, and then I'll be ready to step in the ring.
You probably have a rigorous exercise plan and food plan to maintain the body
Yes.
that you need to have for,
Yes.
boxing.
Yes.
So can you just give me a runaround, what else do you do with the boxing? Because I also want to get into shape, because there's some people I need to knock out.
Yes.
So maybe you can tell me what I should do.
Boxing, it's not an easy sport. When it comes to training, you got to train, and you have to train hard. And when it comes to social life, you have to stay away. So that's.
I don't
one
have
of
a
the-
social life, so
yeah.
let's continue.
So I myself, I train morning time
Okay.
and afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah, so 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon.
Okay.
So-
If you say morning, what time in the morning?
I woke up at 5 o'clock.
Nope, it's fine. So guys, let's quickly look at the braai, because the chicken wings is looking very, very scrumptious, and I can't wait to have some. Here's enough for me, for Jeremiah, and Mr. Hamata, and maybe one for Jesse. Brian said he's on a diet. But don't go anywhere, because Otis has something to tell you guys from the coast. This is Short Corner.
Oh, that's wonderful. And that is what champions do.
It feels good to football with GoTV.
Works the space well and scores.
Nobody but GoTV gives you all the games of La Liga and the DStv Premiership.
This is extraordinary. Oh,
The Premier League and UEFA games that matter, and the world's favorite cup competitions. Get your Go Coder with 1 month of Super for only $799 to enjoy the football Vuma. GoTV. Love it.
Company of Armando Pedro, the man in the hot seat at Blue Waters. How are you doing, Coach?
Yeah, I'm doing well, Otis. I'm doing well.
Yes, Coach, a tough one coming up this weekend. It is the beautiful birds up against the people's team, as they say. What's your take on this one?
Well, Otis, I don't consider it a tough one. It's a game like another game. Let's not divert our intention. We prepare and we tackle every team the same way we tackle.
Yes.
The boy is ready. The boy is well prepared. The boy is gonna give a good account of himself and gonna respond in the good well.
Yes. Yes. Coach, you are placed fifth on the league. Is it where you wanna be?
No, that's not our position. That's where we wanna be. Otis, under the circumstances, we are where we don't belong. So we start to rectify this weekend. Chula Chula, we need to pick up the maximum point when we play home. Obvious, it has to be maximum point.
Yes. Coach, how's preparations gone? Any injuries of note in your squad?
No, we don't have any injury. The boys are well prepared. We are full squad. There's no excuse. we want to go full out for 3 points.
Yes, coach. You've been a striker yourself, and if you hear or listen to the grapevine, or Blue Waters is lacking in that department. What's the problem there? What's the solution?
Otto, if you see the team's creating, that's a good sign.
Yes.
But we're not putting ball on the net. That's the concern.
Yes.
But we went back to our drawing board. We analyzed the past 3 games that we didn't score.
Yes.
We work hard on that areas. Like I say, we got a full squad now. The boys are going to give a good response that they will come Saturday.
Okay, coach. The other department is the defense. What's your take on that one? Quite a couple of goals conceded in the last matches.
Yeah, but remember, Otto, we come from the previous 3 games with 0 concede, and we concede against Hongos, and the manner that we concede against Hongo, we give to Hongo.
Yes.
See, Hongo never work out for those 3 goals. We give mistake, but nevertheless, we went back to the drawing board and work hard, and you see what comes on Saturday.
What would your message be to the fans?
Fans used to come in numbers. They come in numbers and come and support the boys. They've come painted that stadium in blue, and boys gonna give a response.
Thank you so much, coach.
Okay. Choto.
Thank you, boss.
When I say it's smelling, I'm saying it's smelling. You're actually doing a good job so far, Jeremiah. So basically, I can invite you back. But if I invite you back, Nay, what are you going to cook this time? Not something as easy as chicken wings.
I think next time I would like to fry like beef.
Okay.
And yeah, but I can do something nice.
Like a lekker juicy piece of beef steak.
Yes,
No?
beef steak, yeah.
Oh, how do you eat? No, wait, I should not judge, guys, but Brian eats his steak dead. Like the animal should be deader than dead. It's horrible, horrendous. How do you eat your steak?
Yeah, you know, it's how it was cut. I mean, how you cut it.
Okay.
And you know, just to place it.
Okay.
Either maybe if you have a how do you call it?
A cutting board,
Yeah,
knife,
a cutting board.
knife and everything.
Then
Yeah,
you
yeah.
cut it nice. Then you enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah, but how do you eat it? Do you eat it well done? Medium?
Oh, I like
rare?
it well done. I like it well done.
I don't think I should invite Jeremiah back, but I will go watch his boxing match in April or May. So don't go anywhere because I know Brian has a lot to say right now, but I actually want to hear more from Mr. Amata regarding football and not Brian and JC. Don't go anywhere, it's full time.
The Champions League, we've got the favourites. And if they're on song, well, they'll give us a bit of everything to enjoy. Well, here we go. A burst of taste. And the break is on here. It's a red card. Vinicius Junior! Oh, my goodness! There was space foul! Lewandowski! Oh, magnificent! Mbappe! That is a stunner! Haaland! What a finish! Coming onto it now to shoot! Champions of Europe, finally!
The 2023-24 UEFA Champions League. Be moved with every game live on SuperSport. Upgrade to Compact Plus.
Well, we could see that it's happening there in the kitchen. But Anushka, I clearly do not appreciate the comments in terms of that you want to make us have a taste or anything. I know that from my tradition, we eat a lot of meat and all from the big pots, but definitely would love to have a bite from something that Nagathila has prepared. However, it is indeed a big weekend that is across Namibia. We do have the Debmarine Namibia Premiership resuming after taking a break because of the funeral proceedings of the late president. And today there is a big one that is at 7 o'clock. We do have a couple of fixtures taking place, but the big one tonight is that between first and third place. It is Commerce Nampo FC sitting at the top of the table against a very determined Ongos FC, formerly known as Tura Magic. Mr. Hamata, I know with your allegiance to Tura Magic, former board member and all, so could you tell us what do you expect from tonight's match?
It's going to be a very tough match. As you said, placed first and third. So, and then the corresponding fixture in the first leg ended 3-0 in favor of Commerce Nampo. That just shows that they are here to not just roll over and die and make people feel whatever. They really want, and it's going to be very historic. They are not saying it out loudly, but it's going to be very historic. They have won the first division, and they are now going to win the Premier League if they continue winning. I'm not saying they're going to win it. So it's going to be a titanic clash tonight. Ongos has changed the way they do things from a developmental team when it was Tura Magic. Now it's a serious contender for top honors, and I'm sure there's revenge written all over it because they got 3-0. So this one is going to be a titanic clash. I am sure if you have got nothing to do today, that is the match to go and watch. There are at least going to be 3 or 4 goals in this match.
3 or 4 goals, Mr. Hamata says. I'm sure that he will be rooting for Ongos, or am I wrong?
You are wrong. I'll be neutral.
Well, you'll be neutral. I mean, like you, is it, when you guys gave away the team, does it mean that you have also given away the love?
No, you see, you want to be, the reason we gave away, not gave away, we sold it. We gave it to somebody who is really determined to take football to the next level. And we have reached the peak with whatever it is we could do, financially, emotionally, and everything. It was becoming a challenge for us. And we didn't want to let the team drop down after having worked so much, so hard. So we did not give it all away. Obviously, some emotion stays behind, but you want to be free to watch every game and enjoy every game without the pressure of there's this team that you support. Obviously, part of you remains with where you come from. But yes, I'm the neutral today, and I'm going to celebrate every goal that's scored.
Well, let's hope that it's going to produce fireworks. As we know, the weekend will not end there. It won't end on Friday. We have matches continuing. That is on Saturday to Sunday. One of the big ones that will be happening at the coast. As you heard from Coach Armando Petro, there will be Blue Waters against Eshoke Chula Chula. They came into this season as the surprise package, of course, coming with a lot of supporters and all. And we know that Walfish Bay is quite far from Oshakati. I wonder how these guys are going to make it out there. But what do you think of that one?
Actually, Chula Chula has got this very, a formula that works very well for them. They have fans in every town. There's a group that travels, but in every other town, particularly Walvis Bay, most of the factory workers are actually from where Chula Chula comes from. So they will just stand in for the ones that can't travel. And I guarantee you, the stadium will be packed, not because people have traveled, but because of the residents of Walvis Bay who are supporters of Chula Chula. You remember in the corresponding fixture when it was played in Oshakati, the people of Walvis Bay that stay in Oshakati represented them there. So it's going to be again the other way around when they go to Walvis Bay. These people have supporters all over, and I'm sure that rivalry that has started to develop between them, because it's people who know each other. Some players have played for this team, they are now playing for the other team. So there's a camaraderie and there's also a rivalry, and that I want to see that playing out on the field of play.
Yes, I'm sure of it. One of the things that we forgot to mention there is the fact that the weather differences from the northern side and going down to the coastline. So I'm sure that the guys are also afraid of the weather. Traveling all the way to Walvis Bay, it is not a good.
That's why you must travel early to make sure you acclimatize.
To make sure you're,
Okay, well, guys, before we do leave out the Women's Super League, I mean, we are so focused on the Debmarine Premier League because we have so many games that are on this weekend. Let's just have a look at the fixtures that are taking place this weekend in the FNB Women's Super League as the Debmarine as well. Those slides will probably come up shortly for us to just have a look as to who's playing who and who's taking on who. But in the Women's Super League, you guys all know FC Ongos, a team that is terrorizing and causing a lot of destruction, winning games 5 goals, 6 goals. But yeah, just to run through a few of the games, we have V-Power Angels who are taking on Girls and Goals FC. And then we have Ongos ladies who will be playing UNAM. And then on the next game, we have Ongwediva Queens that take on Namib Daughters. And as you can also see, Ramblers Women FC will be taking on Okahanja FC. One of my favorite games has to be Komas Nampo as they take on the Nas Babes. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the games for the weekend for the Women's Super League?
I go for Ongos versus UNAM.
Okay.
UNAM is about one of the few teams that have managed to beat Ongos. And although they revenged it in the last season, that still lingers on in their minds. How could you come and beat us while we were on an unbeaten spree?
Yeah.
So I think they when they play against, they still remember that. So I want to see how that game pans out. For me, that's the game of the day.
And Master Mata, I must actually say that I witnessed a match between that was Ongos FC and Komas Nampo. It was quite a competitive game. One can compliment that football, women's football is coming of age right now, and there has been quite an improvement in terms of technical abilities on the field and how the teams are playing. But one cannot also shy away from the vast differences between the teams that are doing well and the teams that are underperforming.
Look, it's an issue of geography. When you look at the Windhoek-based team, they have it all. They train at the technical center or wherever it is. So there's an advantage for them. And football in Windhoek has started, women's football has started a long time ago, 1993, 1995. In other parts of the country, it's just developing. So they are where Windhoek football was 20 years ago. So you can expect that there will be high scores and this thing. It will probably take you another 5-10 years for us to get everybody on par.
All right, Mr. Amata, you promised me some breaking news before the show started. I think now is the right time before, or not yet. Okay, I wanted to add.
Let's break the news on full stomachs, because now the brain is not braining. So let's get knocked out by the boxing man himself as he presents the dish that we've all been waiting for.
Wow.
Rakata. Mr. Man, this is where you now tell us what have you prepared for us, and yeah, what's the occasion here?
All I can say is, you can always thank me later because what I prepared, so top class. This is chicken wings. I just eliminated with lemon herb and vegetables on the side. Yes.
Okay, I think I really am not the person who likes wasting time there, guys. I like to, these things. So when the guests, when you are a guest and they bring you food, now you come and look that side, you don't see us, we eat the food. So okay, we're just gonna try and test out these wonderful wings. I think you
enjoy.
Also take one yourself as the chef.
Enjoy, guys.
Just in case we get it.
I just want to say, Muyamba, I don't know. I know you're only child now, but in my household, you allow the guests to take first. Okay?
We are not in the house now.
Yes, see my brother.
Okay.
How's it?
A knockout. See what I did there? See what I did there?
Chicken is fantastic, but I don't think we have a lot of time. There's one thing that I wanted you to touch on, the breaking news part that was going on. But yeah, we met earlier at the Nedbank Namibian Newspaper Cup for the launch, which was a great event, and you spoke of the netball team that will be traveling all the way to South Africa, the under-21s, to take part in the World Cup. We don't have a lot of time, but can you just run us through what's happening there?
Yeah, the team is playing qualifiers, World Cup qualifiers from the 16th to the 24th of March in South Africa. It needs sponsors for it to be able to go there. That's really my cry as the Acting Secretary General of Netball Namibia. Maybe may I just continue that? That Secretary Generalship is ending today. And the breaking news is that I have been appointed on a very short-term notice as the person responsible for marketing and sales at the NFA.
Okay, well, we'll come to the end of today's show with some good news. We have run out of time, but from us here in studio, in the mix, it is goodbye.